Hello, I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I've done loads of film reviews, but I thought it was time to try something a bit out of the ordinary, something I don't normally do. Yes, on cue by the watch, yeah. In other words, and now for something completely different. You see, um, I haven't done any movie reviews of Monty Python films. Now, you could say, yes, I have, because I did Time Bandits and Baron Munchausen. But technically, they're not Monty Python films, no. Because each one has three members of the Monty Python team. It doesn't count as a Monty Python film unless all six members are in it. So, A Fish Called Wanda, that only has two members. Eric the Viking only has two members. No, it has to have all six Pythons in order for it to be a Monty Python film. And the first one they did was in 1972, and now have something completely different. I've seen other film reviews say it was 1971, but according to my cinema book, it was 1972. Well, it's more or less 1972, yeah. And, I'll start at the beginning. When I was about seven, I think I saw three episodes of Monty Python's Flying Circus. My parents were watching it. I didn't go out of my way to see it. And my reaction was, what the heck is this? This is bizarre. This is wacky. What on earth is going on? Yeah, it is very strange the first time you see it. It takes a while to sink in, yeah. And then about a year later, I think it was the summer holidays, I was 8 years old. I was allowed to stay up as late as 11 o'clock at night. Wow, that was really late for an 8-year-old, yeah. Because it was the summer holidays, yeah. But I was told you must go to bed at 11 o'clock on the dot. Anyway, I saw it now something completely different on TV, except I'd missed the first half of it. So I didn't know what it was. I didn't know it was anything to do with Monty Python, yeah. And, a little history lesson, if you like. I don't know about America, but in England, in 1974, they showed repeats of things on TV. But before then, they never repeated anything. No. They never repeated anything before 1974 because they feared that people would write in and complain. I'm not getting my license fee for the TV license because you're showing repeats. Yeah. So for that reason, they never showed repeats until 1974. And in the 80s, they'd show repeats, yeah, but not very often, just now and again. In the 90s, loads of repeats everywhere. And in the modern world, well, you can watch old TV shows on YouTube, on Netflix, on Amazon Prime or Apple TV, all over the place. It's not unusual seeing old TV shows that were made before you were born, yeah. But as I said, it didn't happen, as far as I know, before 1974 in England, showing repeats of stuff. And now something completely different was 1972. So in other words, the movie, it's not really a movie at all. It's nothing new. It's all the best bits of the episodes of Monty Python's Flying Circus. Yeah. So it's a compilation of all their best sketches. Yeah. And so the idea of seeing something more than once, I guess they were testing the waters, see if that'll work. Yeah. Or playing it safe. Yeah. And then afterwards, I think about a year or two later, there was a movie in the cinema called The Best of Benny Hill, because in the 70s, the Benny Hill show was the top comedy show. Except, here's the difference. The Best of Benny Hill is literally the best bits of all his best shows all put together. So clips from the TV show. So that's why you hear laughter. There's a laughter track. There's an audience, because it was from television. But and now for something completely different. It's different, because they didn't show pieces of the TV show. No, they reshot all the best sketches. Oh, okay, yeah. So, and in a way, that's good, because don't get me wrong, I do like the TV show, but they filmed it a bit better. The comedy timing was a bit better. They had a slightly bigger budget and a bit more time to develop the sketches. Yeah, or in America they call them skits. Well, over here we call them sketches. So all the best bits of all the best episodes reshot, and there's no laughter track because they've refilmed it. Yeah. So it's not for television, it's a different medium, it's for cinema, yeah. And, when I first saw it when I was 8 years old, or technically over half of it was over, I didn't know it was Monty Python, I didn't even know it was a comedy. I just thought it was a serious thing. Yeah, because that's how they do it. They get Monty Python, they get a normal, everyday setting, and then suddenly something bizarre and wacky happens. Yeah, what the heck is going on here? It gets you off guard, yeah. And I'll say that... there was this film made in the early 80s. I think it was called Diner. And I didn't like it at all because there was no ending. It was just a load of random stuff that happens in no particular order. And that's annoying. A good movie has to have a beginning, a middle, and an end, and a conclusion, yeah, at the end. But when a movie just has random stuff that happens in no particular order, there's no consistency, it's annoying, it's stupid. It's not annoying in And Now for Something Completely Different. Yes, it's not supposed to have a story. It is literally a load of random stuff here. Well, the title of the film is And Now for Something Completely Different. So what do you expect? So it works in this concept. Random stuff normally is annoying, but it works here, yeah. And I remember the bit with Michael Palin plays Mr. Anchovy, who's a very boring accountant. And he goes to like a careers advisor. And he says, I want a different job. I want thrills and excitement in my life. He goes, but you're not an exciting person. You're very boring and dull. So accountancy suits you. He goes, no, it's so dull. The job has made me dull. I need an exciting job to make me an exciting person. I want to be a lion tamer. And the interviewer's like, well, it's a bit of a stretch, isn't it? Yes, Sam, wouldn't you like something similar to accountancy? No, I definitely want to be a lion tamer. Okay, well, what do you know about lion taming so far? Oh, I have a hat with lion tamer written in bright colours, yeah. And the interviewer says, well, that's not really going to work, is it? If I go to the circus and say, look, I've got an accountant here that wants to be a lion tamer, their first question is not going to be, does he have his own hat? They're far more likely to be interested in what sort of experience you have with lions, yeah. And he says, well, I've seen them at the zoo. Oh, good, okay, that's a start, yeah. They have small little stubby legs, bushy tails, and a big protruding snout. They don't frighten me at all. And how tall are these lions? Oh, only about 3 foot high. Well, no, not even that. More like 1 foot high, yeah. And they eat ants, yeah. Well, yes, Mr. Anchovy, what you've got there is an anteater, not a lion. No, a lion is a huge, big beast, about 9 foot long, with razor-sharp fangs, and it looks like this. And cut to a lion, yeah. So he doesn't want to be a lion tamer anymore, no. But then he says, I don't want to be famous, I don't have my face in lights, yeah. And then suddenly Mr. Anchovy becomes the host of a game show, So that's how they cut from that sketch into this one. Sometimes there's no connection whatsoever with the previous sketch, they just instantly cut to that one. But sometimes they find a way to weld the different sketches together. Sometimes they do, sometimes they don't. Or sometimes when we go to the next sketch, we just have John Cleese saying, and now for something completely different. Yeah, okay. But yes, it is clever. They get a normal, everyday setting and make it look bizarre and wacky, yeah. And, oh yes, when the milkman goes inside a housewife's house and she locks him in a room with lots of other milkmen. And then we have the bit where we cut from that, there is a connection, yeah, to the man that's just writing the joke. Yeah, the room is full of milkmen and some of them are old, yeah. Enough of that, write a different joke. And the narrator says, this man is Ernest Scribbler, manufacturer of jokes. In a few moments he will write the funniest joke in the world, and as a result, die laughing. How can you say that with a straight face? That's crazy. Yeah. And yes, we have the nudge, wink, wink sketch. That's become like part of pop culture now, yeah. So yes, all the best bits here and there. It's very fun, enjoyable thing. It's only about an hour and 20 minutes long, but it seems, well, longer because so much is happening. It's a lot to take in here, there and everywhere, yeah. And, okay, I suppose I can't really do this without mentioning the parrot sketch, yeah. Now, this is really funny the first time you see it, yes. Now, the parrot sketch, when Amanda goes in, I bought this parrot half an hour ago from this very boutique. What's wrong with it? I'll tell you what's wrong with it. It's dead. That's what's wrong with it. And the shopkeeper says, no, he's just resting. He's fine. He's had a long squawk, so he needed a good long lie down. That sketch made me laugh a lot when I was 8 years old because it was very funny and because it's so true. When you go to a pet shop, it doesn't have to be a pet shop, any shop, and you've got a faulty product, the shopkeeper will say anything to convince you that the product isn't faulty. He'll say anything, no matter how ridiculous, because he doesn't want to give you your money back. He goes, no, that parrot isn't dead. No, he's not dead. He's just resting. Oh, if it's resting, I'll wake it up. He biffs it on the head. Hello, Polly. Bashes it on the counter thing. I've got a lovely cracker for you. Biff, biff, biff. Rise and shine. Now that is a dead parrot. Oh, no, he was perfectly fine before. He's having a long rest now. He'll soon be flying about and pining for the fjords and all that and everything. Look, mate, this parrot wouldn't wake up if I put a huge foghorn next to it. No, it has ceased to be. It is an ex-parrot. This has expired, past its best, it's doomed. Yes, this is an ex-parrot. Well, I better replace it then. And then afterwards he says how I didn't want to be a pet shop owner, you know. I wanted to be a lumberjack, you know. And so that suddenly cuts to that thing there. And but in the original TV show, no, it's a barbershop sketch, and then that suddenly cuts to the lumberjack song. Okay, so they changed the rules a bit here and there. In the TV version, the parrot is all blue. Oh, that explains why he calls it the Norwegian blue. Yeah, but it has more variation of colours in the movie version. There is no such thing as the Norwegian blue. You don't get you don't get parrots native in Scandinavia. But and yes, it is very funny and very clever how all the different sketches well together. Okay, a little bit of a nitpick here. Here's an anteater. Now the joke is when the man wants to be a lion tamer. You don't get lion tamers anymore. No. Anyway, he wants to be a lion tamer, and how could anyone be so stupid to confuse an anteater with a lion? Yes, because lions are fierce, deadly, and dangerous. Whereas anteaters are perfectly harmless and would never hurt anyone. Or would they? You see, the giant anteater of South America, it has razor-sharp claws for tearing apart an anthill or tearing apart a termite hill, whatever he's in the mood for eating. And the jaguar, because they don't have lions and tigers in South America, but they have jaguars, and they never attack anteaters. Because of those razor-sharp claws. That could be lethal. It would tear his body to bits. Now, a giant anteater has razor-sharp claws that frighten a big cat, a top predator, away. I think it'd be safe to say that they are pretty dangerous. They are not harmless. Why did anyone ever think that they're perfectly harmless? Okay, yeah. So that joke, when you know more about anteaters, doesn't quite work, right? Yeah. But overall, yes, it's all very funny, all very good. A few bits and bobs that are a little dated. Yes, there's a bit of racism here, yeah, but to a minimum, yes, 95% of it, there's no racism at all. But just remember, this was made in 1972, yeah. The cartoon of the Chinese people, yes, that's a bit racist, yeah. But overall, yes, a very good film. Most of it is timeless, yeah. So in other words, yes, it is very funny the first time you see it. Oh, another slight nitpick. It's called the best of Monty Python's sketches, right? But where's the Minister of Silly Walks? You know, can you imagine John Cleese with his gangly legs walking in a silly way, yeah, like that? And where's Bicycle Repairman? Look, up in the sky. Is it a milkman? Is it a postman? Is it a stockbroker? No, it's Bicycle Repairman. Yeah, where's that bit? Yeah. Well, I guess because the film was on quite a small budget, they couldn't make it any longer than an hour and 20 minutes, yeah. Anyway, to cut a long story short, if you've never seen an episode of Monty Python and you haven't got the patience to see all the episodes, then see this. See And Now for something completely different. It's all the best bits, and it's a good introduction to the Monty Python world, yeah. Yes, it's the best of the best in a short space of time, yeah. Oh, and I suppose I just have to say it. There was once a comedian that said, you never say, here comes the punchline, you just say it. But in the joke about the dirty fork in a 5-star hotel, and then there's lots of shenanigans here, then you get the manager, the dirty fork and all that, and then a huge big cue card comes up and says, and now the punchline. And it works. It works, it's very funny, yeah. In other words, Monty Python don't follow conventional rules, and that's what's so unpredictable about the comedy. Okay, thank you for watching. I'm Anthony Hobbs, and I'm never bored.